Good morning, folks. Welcome back to another video. Well, this morning was a bit of a surprise. I woke up and there's snow all over the place. I am at 4,600 feet, and so we do get snow. Not very often, though. This is the first time this year in 2022. Usually by now, with the sun at this angle, my waterfall pond is usually flowing really nicely. I'm not sure what's going on, whether the pipe is frozen or the solar panel that runs it being covered with snow is the issue. Okay, so that didn't work. So either the sun just isn't at the right angle, or maybe the plumbing is frozen with the pond. There we go. It just needed a little more sun at the right angle on the solar panel, and the sound of that water is going to bring in some birds in no time. So this is something I didn't expect to see on my solar panels this year, now that it's almost March. Let's go inside and see what the Titan is registering for electricity this morning. I know the Cochise cell panels I purchased were high quality, so that just makes sense that they're able to deal with bringing in power even when they're covered in snow. So this is a good opportunity to talk about how I keep warm in my little 200 square foot tiny cabin. Last year I was sick for a couple, 3 weeks, I think. And a huge part of that for me is when I get cold, I just get ill. Now, lest anyone be concerned, I've had next to no illness or colds since last year, I think. So, doing really well. My little 200 square foot cabin is extremely well insulated. So that means that it's so easy to heat, it's absolutely ridiculous. I had no idea that it would stay this warm. My windows and doors are all double paned, and of course that helps as well. So my major choices for heating this little building was wood, and I don't really have any wood on the property, and it's expensive to buy. Electricity, and that takes a lot of electricity to heat a building, or propane. So I chose propane, and specifically the Big Buddy heater. If you're on a bit of a budget and the space you are heating isn't very large, you can order the regular Buddy heater, which only allows one canister of propane to be inserted. It only has two settings, 4,000 BTUs and 9,000 BTUs. For the Big Buddy heater, which I chose, it can run up to 5 hours on a single 1 pound cylinder of propane, or up to 10 hours on two 1 pound cylinders of propane. I take these two barbecue tanks to the local propane business in Sierra Vista, and to have both filled, it's around $25. So this hose I got from Lowe's, I believe. So the hose came with this cog or wheel. I think I have a love-hate relationship with it. When it's on and stays on, it's quite helpful, but it often seems to slip off when I'm putting things on. So essentially, this goes on like so, and then it's always so counterintuitive with propane threads, as I mentioned on another video. It's instinctively I want to turn it the other way. So you turn it just the opposite to how you'd think it goes. And they do that to protect people from hooking this up to something wrong and dangerous with these unconventional threads. So it's on good and snug. So the other thing that's super important, folks, is I never open this spigot all the way. I only do it about a quarter of a turn. So I learned the hard way early on that if you turn the spigot full on, the big buddy heater just can't seem to burn that much propane at once and just fizzles and goes out. So just a quarter turn and you're good. So one of the features of the big buddy heater is you can put two 1-pound canisters in the unit. So you just take the 1-pound propane canister and then just line it up with the threads. And the nice thing is it goes on really easily. And then that folds nicely back into place and you shut the compartment. And then you just turn it around and open up the other side, and you would put a canister in here too. But I've got a filter hooked in here that was recommended, and then of course my hose which connects to the outside and underneath the building. So as you can see with the settings, folks, there's click to pilot, and that starts the pilot light. And then when that gets going, then you can put it on low, medium, and then high. So let's give it a go. So I'll give it 3 or 4 clicks, and you just kind of do that briskly. And that took 4 or 5, and now I can see the pilot light. And you just slide it over nice and gently to low. I think it's worth noting that I've had this unit for about a year, and I've been clicking that a lot in the past year, and so far it's showing no signs of wearing out, which I was thinking a device like this would wear out easily. So far, so good. I don't use these next 2 settings very often, but if it's really cold in this little cabin and I want things heating up really quick, I'll move it over to medium. So what you'll notice on the medium setting, it's still that left-hand burner that's blazing away there, but a lot brighter. You can see it's a bright orange now. And then on a really cold morning, and I want this whole place warmed up in about 15 minutes, I'll crank this over to high. And with high, you'll see both panels fire up and really blast out heat. Now if you hear that little poof, that means that the right-hand burner is now activated. And it's going to glow bright orange pretty quick. And with that much heat, this little building gets toasty super fast, which is super cool for somebody who loves heat. So in no time at all, at that point, I'm turning this all the way back to low, so I'm not cooked to death. And as you can see, that right-hand burner goes off. And as you can imagine, it takes a lot more propane to run the 2 burners. So it's getting pretty hot in here with this demo, so I'm going to just turn the whole thing off. So naturally, if you are breathing in fumes from a big buddy heater in an enclosed space like this, you're going to be concerned. So 2 things. The big buddy heater has a shut-off switch so that if it detects that carbon monoxide fumes are high in any way, it just shuts off. And I have literally tried to get that thing started. When it's in shut-off mode, not happening. And also, I've got, right by my sleeping area, a very sensitive carbon monoxide detector. And the big buddy, without fail, shuts off long before that goes off and starts beeping. So I'm reassured by that. And also, I often leave the window cracked to make sure. So I think an obvious question would be, if something happened to this heater, would you turn around and buy another one, or would you buy something different? I would turn around and buy the very same heater. Mr. Heater Big Buddy is not sponsoring me in any way. They're not giving me any kind of gifts. And I can honestly say this is a great unit, and I wouldn't hesitate to purchase another one. So I hope this helps you folks in learning about how I keep warm here in my little 200 square foot cabin, even on cold days like today. And I absolutely love the Mr. Heater Big Buddy. It literally is a buddy. More than that, it prevents me from being ill and having colds and all kinds of unwell scenarios. So for me, keep me warm and I just stay healthy. If you have any questions about the Mr. Heater Big Buddy or any other question about my videos, please leave your question in the comments below or send me an email and I'll get back to you. And I really appreciate you folks watching my videos. Thank you very much. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Lots and lots of stuff going on here. I'm going to be doing more electrical work on this little cabin, so you won't want to miss that. Dawn becomes an electrician? We'll see. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next video.